So in regards to 2024, let's go back in time. Well, I guess I can start this video by saying Happy New Year. It's officially been 2 years since I wrote my very first novel, which was Letters to Magnolia. And last month, in December, I released my 6th novel. I have no words. I literally have no words. You know, when I went after my dream, I did not even think I could write a book. Like, I didn't even think I would get done with Letters to Magnolia. I was like, honestly, just winging it. I had no idea what I was doing, and I was just writing. Past videos, I grew up loving writing plays. Like, that's what I did. In elementary and middle school, I had a notebook full of plays, and me and my friends, we would, you know, talk our teachers into letting us act them out, you know, in class. And it was so much fun, but it was something I loved to do. I loved creating something from scratch. I love taking things that are not yet made, like something that's rough or ugly or, you know, not developed yet, and seeing the potential and growing it into something worth your time. And that's how it felt writing my first novel. Was I was writing something that was not yet created, and I was creating it, and it was just amazing to watch those characters come to life and the story come to life. And, you know, once I was done, I was like, I can do this. And once that got in my head that, hey, I just wrote my first novel, that wasn't so hard, even though it was. Writing a book has been the hardest thing I've ever done, and I've done it 6 times already. But I realized that I could do hard things, and that's a lot that I want to talk about on this video. Is, you know, coming into my author journey, your girl was very sure about a lot of things. This isn't going to be a video about, oh, these are my goals for 2026, because I don't like doing that. It puts pressure on me, it puts pressure on my work. And this video, I just want to reflect on where we are going now that we've got some momentum under us, some knowledge under us. I know what I'm doing now versus the first couple of books that I was like, what in the world? So yeah, this is a very much a gratitude video. Last month we released book 1 of Lady of the Moon trilogy, Sealed with Deception. I will be releasing book 2's cover and reveal date very, very, very soon. Look forward in February is all I gotta say. The cover, you're going to be surprised because we've got a new person on the cover. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I really think you're gonna like the way the book 2 is going. It is done, it is sent to my editor, and I really, really like it. I like the way that it's just, without giving anything away, I think you're really going to enjoy it. The spy scenes are spicing in this book. Let me tell you, if you thought that shower scene in book 1 was a lot, hold on to your Kindles, girls, because that's all I'm gonna say. In regards to 2024, let's go back in time for a minute. In regards to 2024, I was just learning. I didn't know a whole lot. I was doing a lot of, you know, research, learning. I was just trying to get my feels of what I like to write about, how I wanted to market, how I wanted to run my business. And I was really navigating the feelings of not being supported by, you know, some friends and some family. How, you know, I've had people tell me, you know, you post too much, or why do you write that stuff, like spy scenes. I've had people tell me, you know, you need to be more like Jesus and, you know, write the way he would want you to write. You need to do more closed door things, and that's just not me. I don't want to. I love the love aspect in romance books. That's the one thing about me, is that is a part of love. And I really felt bad when I was getting those comments to me in 2024, and people were, you know, ignoring me and wasn't supporting me. That was in my close corner because of things that I was writing about. And even though it was a fiction world, and, you know, most of them have children, so I'm like, do you not know how you get those? Anyways, let me tone it down a little bit. So I really had to navigate those feelings of, you know, am I really supposed to be here? If those people that were in my close corner did not support me or love me through this or want me at my most authentic self, am I really supposed to be doing this? And imposter syndrome, you know, stepped in, and I just went balls to the wall, basically, writing books. And I was like, you know what, I want to do this. This makes me happy. I was coming off of a couple years before that, you know, not wanting to get out of bed and not wanting to do a whole lot of things, not wanting to be around people. I really isolated myself. I was very depressed. I see a therapist now. I am better. Don't get that twisted. But it was really scary there for a little while. And I really think writing and showing myself that I could do hard things pulled me out of that. It wasn't easy. And then when I had the negativity from friends and family coming at me, which it wasn't a lot. That sounds like it was a lot. It wasn't a lot. But even though you're getting support and praises from people, those negative people are louder sometimes to you, especially when you're coming out of a depression and you just want to feel validated and you want to know that what you're doing is the right path for you. And it was, in a way, I felt like, you know, am I really supposed to be doing this? So I navigated a lot of anxiety in 2024, a lot of grief, grieving relationships that I thought I would have for the rest of my life that I don't have anymore. People really showed me where they stood in my life. And that was really hard to navigate those emotions because I didn't want them to leave my life. You know, like I wanted them in my life. But in that the most beautiful thing about that is in 2024 I also met some of the, where people was leaving my life, I also met some of the best people that I have in my life to this day, through social media and the book community. And it really showed me that while yes, the people closest to me may not support me, but there's strangers out there who will, and they will love me, not only for my books, but for me. And I've really met some really great people and made some really good friends through the book community. And I carried those into, you know, 2025. 2025 was the year that I really had to step back and understand what burnout was. Because in 2024, I had wrote so much so quickly that I didn't leave my house. I was constantly at my desk. I wasn't like moving. I wasn't working out anymore. I wasn't getting outside in the sunlight. I wasn't eating good. You know, I was hyper focused on work. I know a lot of people on like TikTok and stuff, they'll say, how did you write 5 books in a year? Like, that's impossible. Was it AI? Nothing I do is AI. Okay, nothing. I despise AI. The only thing I like about AI is when Randy Travis was able to have a new song come out because they used pieces of his voice to make that. That is what I like about AI. However, I don't like it in the sense of I work really hard to write my books that I write, okay? Like, that all comes from me. Every bit of it is my fingertips on my keyboard. I don't even use Copilot. I don't use I don't use none of that. Like, I refuse to use it. It comes from me. But when I wrote, okay, off of that rant, but when I wrote 5 books in 1 year in 2024, going into 2025, I knew that I did not need to do that again. I knew I needed balance. So 2025 was really the year of disciplining myself to the point of having a routine where I could not sit at my desk all day. Because I was sitting at my desk literally all day in 2024, and that's just not healthy. My joints, my hips were hurting. And I have rods in my back. For those of you who don't know, I had scoliosis when I was younger, so that wasn't healthy for me. My muscle spasms were getting bad. It was just not. I can't sit for very long periods of time. Even when I'm doing these YouTube videos, I have like 20 minutes tops, and I have to get up and walk around. I have to stretch. Like, my hips just lock up. So I learned in 2024 that going into 2025, I did not want to deal with that. I needed to be able to get up and move around, and so I really started doing more of, okay, I'm gonna write an hour to 2 hours a day in the mornings, and then in the evenings I might write another hour, but the rest of the time I'm gonna like clean up the house, I'm going to meal prep, I'm gonna get supper on, I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna work out. Like, balance was what I learned in 2025. Also in 2025 is when I met my PA, which I not met her. I knew her in 2024. She actually started, we met through social media, and then she was on my art team. She's been on my art team since the very beginning. Her name is Paige, and I love her, y'all. If I will leave her information down below, if she has, I don't know if she has openings right now, but don't take up too much of her time because I need her, okay? But she is phenomenal. I don't know what I ever would do like without her. I don't know what I did before her. I lost my sanity. She has went above and beyond anything I could have ever imagined for a PA. She literally is my saving grace. There's days I know I probably get on her nerves where I'm like, okay, I won't even say, hey, good morning. I'd be like, oh, I have an idea. Like, I'll just jump straight into it. So that's my ADHD brain coming out, though, because I think she's really learned me to that aspect. At least I hope she has. Paige, if you're watching this, I don't do it to be rude. I'm just very, yeah, you know, I'm just like that. But she's awesome. She's so awesome, and I wish I could pay her 1,000 times more because she's worth it, and one day I hope to be able to. But I recommend, like, her information is down below in the description. Go check her out, email her. I need her I need to like move her into my house and like just be right here with me. But yeah, she's amazing. So when I met her in 2025, things really started to balance more for me because I wasn't the only one doing everything. I guess that's another thing. Like, I really learned in 2025 to delegate things. I'm a control freak. I do not like giving out. I don't like my visions being put in other people's hands. I don't like my control being put in other people's hands. And it was really, really hard for me to come out and say, you know, I need help, and reach out for a PA. You know, I know there's people in the past who have had issues with PAs. They've been through multiple PAs. I got blessed. I got very blessed with Paige. She is amazing at what she does, and I hope she never stops because I will probably cry. But yeah, the best thing I ever did was I started delegating things. I hired a PA. I don't do any of my covers anymore. I have people that do character art for me. I said no more to doing art distributions. I don't care what I have to pay for that. Which Luna is awesome. Check out Luna. I will put her stuff in the description below as well. But she is phenomenal. She's taken art distributions off my plate, and that was another thing that stressed me out. Like, on art sent out days, I would be almost in a ball of tears because of how it's just time consuming, and my OCD paired with ADHD brain, it would paralyze me all day long to do those things. So I learned with the type of brain I have, the type of personality I have, I had to delegate things. That was a non-negotiable for 2025 because I could not keep doing it all on my own. Burnout was going to be very real, and I could feel it coming. So Social media was another thing. Paige has actually taken over my TikToks and runs my socials for me. Besides Instagram, she does make graphics for me, but I realized real quick that I could not do all of that and write because it was draining my energy, it was draining my muse. I needed somebody to run my socials, at least a good bit of them, take that off my plate so I could focus on the writing, because you're not gonna have anything to market if you don't write. So the writing has to come first. Going into 2026, I'm done with self-doubt. I know that my books are not for everybody. Used to, I don't read reviews anymore. My husband will read them, and if there's any good ones, he will tell me the good ones, but I do not go on Goodreads. I do not go on Amazon. Which is not that it's, let me say this, back up. I don't have many bad reviews, knock on wood, please. But it always feels like, because I'm such a perfectionist, my OCD brain wants to be perfect all the time, that I could have 200 5-star reviews, and that one-star review would ruin my whole day. Like, ruin my whole day. It would make me say I'm not good enough, I can't do this. It's like my brain automatically puts out, just ignores that there's 200 5-star reviews. It focuses on that one failure, that one bad one, which is not really a failure, but it focuses on that. And that's something I'm learning in therapy, like to reroute my brain for. But it's hard. It's hard when you've grown up in a world that constantly wants you to be aesthetic and perfect and your image and all of this. And so self-doubt, we're throwing that out the window in 2026. Imposter syndrome, we're throwing that out the window in 2026. I don't want to be afraid to put myself out there anymore, which I'm not. I've got 6 books out in the world now, but it's still a little nerve-wracking. Like, every time I have a release, every time arcs go out, I'm always a basket of nerves, because even though my books are fiction, there's little glimpses of myself in them. There's little glimpses of my world, my past, my experiences in them in some shape or form. They're not exactly to the way I experience them, but it is sprinkled in there. So when I'm putting that out into the world where people can critique that, it's scary, because when I see a 1-star review and they're like, well, the FMC, this is not really what's been said, I'm just, and as an example, the FMC is dramatic. And I'm like, but she was based off of me. Like, you know, like, so I cannot look at reviews anymore. My husband looks at those, and the good ones he will tell me. He will screenshot them and send them to me. But I'm really trying to do better about the self-doubt. Be like, girl, you wrote 6 books. Like, you can do this. Stop saying you can't, because you can. My brain forgets about that sometimes. Also, I think in 2026, this isn't really, I know I said I didn't really want to go into my goals, which these aren't really goals. When I talk about goals, I mean like rankings and money and all that. Like, I'm not going to get into that on this video, but I do want to talk about how, I do want to say that one of my focuses is going to be not being afraid to take breaks. Anytime I set, most of the time I'll set like 2 weeks, no writing for 2 weeks, or for a whole month after a release or something, just to kind of like refuel my cup. And I feel bad about that. I feel like I have to be working the whole entire month, and if I'm just sitting there, then I'm behind. And in 2026, I want to be more mindful that breaks is part of the investment. It's part of the growth. It's part of the being able to do this, because without breaks, burnout comes, and burnout means no writing at all. Believe me, I was there in 2024. So I'm trying to be more appreciative of breaks. Enjoy it too. Like, I want to enjoy these milestones. Like, I just released my 6th book, and it was like I couldn't even enjoy the release because I'm constantly thinking, okay, what's next? We got to keep going. We got to keep doing. Like, I want to be able to enjoy things this year and be like, you know, okay, we've done this. Let's enjoy it. Give us time to feel those emotions. That's one thing I'm not good at. I'm not good at giving, like, I want to move past those emotions as fast as I can. And in 2026, I really want to, enjoy them, feel them, process them. I really am excited for this year. I'm excited because book 2 and 3 will release in 2026. I will say you need to just keep an eye on my social. 2024 was more for knowledge. I was learning. 2025 was more for, you know, delegating certain things out, outsourcing, learning to let go of control a little bit. And 2026, patience, understanding that I can't control everything and rest is good, and I can really start building momentum and stuff from the work I have done the past 2 years. I have worked my butt off the past 2 years. A lot of my family thinks that I'm just a stay-at-home wife, that I just sit around and don't do anything. And my husband said the other day, he said, you know, I really wish they could live a day in your shoes and see what you do, because yes, he goes to a job and comes home. He said, but you do more than I ever could. He says, you know, you not only do you keep the house going and the supper cooked and stuff, but you also run a full-time writing business, and you're writing and you're releasing books, and people don't understand how much work, like, he has seen the work that goes into that, and I'm so appreciative for him and his support. And because without him, I wouldn't have started this. He funded the startup of this because he was the only one that was working at the time. I was a full-time stay-at-home wife. And I'm just so grateful for him and what he has, you know, helped me and supported me to do. I'm excited for this new year. I'm excited for what's to come. I don't know. I had big plans for this trilogy. Book 1 has been recepted really well through the book community, more than I thought. I was so nervous for that book to come out because it's a white shoes. That was my first white shoes, and I'm from the Bible Belt, so I was and my pen name's not a secret. Like, I'm open about my pen name. I'm not shameful for what I write or anything like that, but I knew that people around where I lived would see it eventually. And I was worried. I was very worried about the fingers pointing at me. And I've come to realize that just because the finger's pointing at you, they've got 3 more pointing back at them. So, can't judge me, can't shame me for anything I'm not ashamed of. But it was still scary putting it out in the world because I am from such a religious area that I was more worried about my hometown than I was the strangers out in the world, because I know it's such a big trope in the book community. So, but it has been received very well within the book community. I'm very, very pleased that people are loving it. They hate the cliffhanger, which, I mean, I can agree with that, but it'll be worth it because we pick up right where it leaves off in book 2, and then book 2 also has a cliffhanger, but then book 3 is coming, and I don't think you're ready for the twist that's coming for it. Actually, I really think the twist, you get a piece of it in book 2, but the main one happens in book 3. So here's to 2026. I hope you have a happy New Year's as well. You're also leaning into your most authentic self, doing things that make you happy, not those around you happy. Because what I'm learning in my therapy sessions is, if your cup is not full, you cannot pour into everybody else's. Here's the thing, us humans, especially us women, are very bad at draining our cups to fill other people's. It doesn't work that way. You are supposed to fill your cup, and your cup is supposed to overflow into other people. If people don't like that you're filling your cup before theirs, they're not your people. Hate to break it to you, they're not your people. You have got to fill your cup before you can fill other people's. We live in such a world that is full of burnout, that it is no wonder everybody's mental health is just out the window. You've got to fill your own cup. You have got to put you first. You have got to love you first. And when you start doing that, those who are supposed to be in your life will be in your life. Those who leave were never meant to be in your life to begin with. They were using you. They were taking you for granted. Ask me how I know. I'm talking from experience. So, fill your cup. Go do what you love. Go do what makes you happy. And guess what? I'm 30 years old, and my therapist looked at me and said, "You don't know who you are." Girl, what are you talking about? Like, I almost fired her that day. And not really, but I was like, she ruffled some feathers. She said, "You're 30 years old and you do not know who you are. You can tell me who you are as a wife, as an author, as a daughter. You don't know who you are. You know what other people see you as." And my mouth dropped. Like, I did not know what to say. I was like, I don't like this. And she was like, "Oh, you know, what's some things you love doing as a young girl, as a teenager? Why don't you do those things some more?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know. I grew up. Like, I don't know." And she was like, "What's your favorite music? What's your favorite hobbies? What's something that you do that brings you joy?" And I'm like, so, you know, the end of 2025, I really started diving into what I love. What I love to write, what I love to read, what I love to watch on TV, what I love to dance to in the kitchen, what I love to shop for, what clothes I like, what drinks I like, what foods I like. Like, I'm relearning me. And so I say all of that. I know that was a long spill, but I say all of that to say, in this new year, if you don't know yourself, I encourage you to get to know yourself, to love yourself, to put you first. Now, that does not mean to harm anybody or hurt anybody in the process. Always be kind, but don't allow disrespect either. Boundaries are good for you and those around you if it is hurting your mental health. Where boundaries are not good is if you're using them to avoid situations and your feelings. I learned that the hard way. So, Happy New Year. That was a long video, and if you watched till the end, I'm so thankful you did. But, yeah, we're going into this new year with 2 new books, 3 new books. We have book 2, Lady of the Moon. Beckett, under JESSICA WHALEY, is releasing. And then book 3, the final book of Lady of the Moon trilogy, will be releasing. There may be a 4th book releasing this year. Don't know yet. I will let you know probably once the new year gets, you know, more in, maybe like the end of the first quarter. I might let you know. Depends on how my schedule looks. I do know what will be coming in 2027. I'm not going to tell you yet. 2027. However, I don't know when I'm going to release that information. Sometime within this year. But yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being on this journey with me. I have really, you know, this year I have a lot of goals. I hope you are along for them with me. If you are an aspiring author out there writing your first book, I'm cheering you on. Let me know down below what genre you're writing in, how far you've gotten. Tell me all the things down below. I really hope that you continue to follow your dreams, no matter what they are, and pour into yourself this new year. This year is going to be the year of the horse, which means karmic cycles just ended in 2025, and then abundance comes in 2026. If you follow any of that type of astrology or anything like that, I've always thought that stuff was cool, so I've always like delved into it. So yeah, so thankful you watched to the end. I don't know how long this ended up being, but yeah, thank you if you were here for this long. I cannot wait to get this year started, and I hope y'all had a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. If you have not read Lady of the Moon, Book 1, Sealed with Deception, I do have it linked down below. It is available, all my books are on Kindle Unlimited. It is available on Barnes & Noble and Amazon. So yeah, I hope you love it, and Book 2 and Book 3 is coming soon. If you don't love it, don't tell me. Just ignore me for the rest of your life. Love you all. Happy New Year's, and I will see you in the next vlog. Bye, guys.